Hi, I'm Rishi. Welcome back to my YouTube astrology channel. All my recent videos on the channel have crossed 50,000 views, so a very big thank you for the support and love. You all know that every prediction I made for the 2019 general elections of India turned out to be correct. Right after that, a lot of people started writing to me asking me to predict India's fortunes in the 2019 One-Day Cricket World Cup. Now, let me tell you how I predicted the 2019 general elections. There was no magic involved. I looked at the horoscopes of all the top contenders for the post of Prime Minister in 2019. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Sri Narendra Modi, Srimati Mamata Banerjee, Kumari Mayawati, Sri Chandrababu Naidu, Sri Nitin Gadkari, and after an intricate analysis of all of these horoscopes, determined that the horoscope of Sri Narendra Modi was the strongest of all. I therefore predicted that Sri Modi will again be the Prime Minister of India. I went on to compare Sri Modi's planetary position of 2019 with his planetary position of 2014. I determined, based on the principles of ancient Vedic astrology, that his planets in 2019 were stronger than his planets of 2014, and so predicted something that no other astrologer in the country had done. That he will be politically stronger in 2019 than he was in 2014. And that is exactly what finally happened. So that worked out really well. When you ask me to predict the result of the One-Day Cricket World Cup of 2019, I will need the horoscopes of the captains of all the big teams in the tournament to see which horoscope has the greatest strength and seems to be the one lifting this most important cup. Unfortunately, I do not have the horoscopes of the captains of most of the other teams, so cannot conduct an analysis similar to the one I had done for the general elections of 2019. However, I will analyze the chart of the captain of the Indian team, the legend himself, Virat Kohli, to see what his chances of lifting this trophy appear to be. Virat Kohli is born under the sign of Sagittarius, which means that he is ruled by the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is placed in the 6th house of the horoscope. Jupiter in the 6th house becomes exceptionally powerful. This is the house of competition and enemies, and Jupiter, favorable and powerful in this house, allows a person to succeed in competition and gain victory over his opponents. Sitting in the 6th house, this powerful Jupiter aspects both the house of profession and the house of wealth. The aspect of a Jupiter benefic for the horoscope is always favorable. So this results in both the house of profession and the house of wealth being very strong in this chart. Jupiter is sitting at 9 degrees 40 minutes in Taurus, and this is the exact spot of the horoscope that is owned by Sun. This is the nakshatra of Sun. Now, Sun is lord of the 9th house of the horoscope. The 9th house is the house of destiny, the Bhagyasthan. And Jupiter sitting in the nakshatra of Sun forms a very powerful relationship with the Lord of Destiny of this horoscope. So the Lord of the Lagna, the Ascendant, and the Lord of Bhagya, Destiny, form a strong relationship in this chart, making it a very powerful one. Sun itself is sitting in the 11th house, the house of gain, and it is sitting with Mercury, which is the Lord of the 10th house, the house of profession. So the Lord of Destiny, sitting in a house where it will ensure great gain to the horoscope, is sitting with the Lord of Profession, ensuring that the house of profession gains in every way possible. The 10th house itself is sitting in the nakshatra of Mars. So Mars becomes a very significant planet for the profession of this horoscope. Mars is naturally the planet of energy, strength, determination, willpower. All great sportsmen and sportswomen are blessed with a very powerful Mars. Virat Kohli's Mars is as powerful as any Mars I've ever seen in my career as an astrologer. It is the lord of the 5th house. The 5th house is a trine, trikona, and is a very favorable place of the horoscope. And this Mars is placed in the 4th house, a quadrant, a Kendrasthan. Whenever a planet creates a relationship between a trine and a quadrant, it becomes very powerful and gives a lot of strength to the entire horoscope. Mars also aspects the 10th house of the chart. Now, we have seen that the 10th house is the house of profession, And the 10th house for Virat is in the nakshatra of Mars. So Mars, in a sense, becomes the true lord of profession for this horoscope. And this lord is very powerful and is watching his own house, giving an enormous amount of strength to the horoscope. What about the shadow planets Rahu and Ketu? Rahu is sitting in the 3rd house of the horoscope, a very strong house for Rahu, where Rahu functions really well. Rahu is sitting in his own nakshatra, where he has complete freedom to function in whatever manner he wants. Now, Rahu is a worldly planet. It is seen as the planet of delusion, but Rahu is also the planet that is connected most strongly with worldly success. Sitting in a very benefic house of the horoscope, in his own nakshatra, he gives very powerful results to this chart. Ketu is sitting in the 9th house of the horoscope, the Bhagyasthan, and is aspecting the ascendant, the Lagna. Now, the Lagna, which is ruled by Jupiter, as I've already mentioned, is actually sitting in the nakshatra of Ketu itself. So Ketu becomes sort of the lord of the horoscope, sitting in the house of destiny, the Bhagyasthan, aspecting the Lagna while being the nakshatra lord of the Lagna. Ketu creates great power and success for this chart that it essentially is the owner of. Now, in every horoscope, there are some planets that are friendly towards the horoscope and others that are not so friendly. In Virat's horoscope, the planets Jupiter, Sun, Mars, Mercury, Rahu and Ketu are all very powerful and are great benefics as well. So, which planets harm this horoscope? Well, for starters, there is the biggest troublemaker of all, Saturn. Saturn is not good for Virat. And Saturn is placed in the Lagna, in the most significant house of this horoscope. But luckily for Virat, and actually luckily for all of India, Saturn is sitting in the nakshatra of Ketu. Ketu is the functional owner of this horoscope and is also aspecting the Lagna, aspecting and keeping a check on Saturn. So Saturn does not really have the ability to do much harm to the horoscope. What it does do, however, is make the person extremely hardworking and resilient. Saturn is a planet that doesn't allow anyone to get anything easily, and working under the control and influence of Ketu, it has ensured that Virat learnt the habit of hard work early in his life. Nothing has come easy to this horoscope. He may seem like he has the world under his feet today, but trust me, Virat Kohli has worked harder than anyone can imagine for every inch of success he has earned till today. The only planet that is truly bad for Virat is Venus. Venus is the lord of the 6th and the 11th house of this horoscope, and therefore is the Akarak planet, the principal enemy of this chart. Venus is sitting in the nakshatra of Moon, which is the lord of the 8th house, another house not considered favorable for any horoscope. So essentially, an enemy of the horoscope combines with another enemy of the horoscope to guarantee bad results whenever it gains control over the horoscope. Venus is not good for this chart, and Venus is placed in the 10th house of this horoscope, in the house of profession. I have mentioned many times in the past that at any given point in time, there are a group of planets that have the greatest control over the horoscope at that point in time. These planets are the planets that are controlling the dasha of the horoscope, the dasha lords. Now, during the World Cup, the Mahadasha, the major period that Virat is running, is that of Rahu. Great. The Antardasha, the sub-period that he is running, is that of Mercury. Great. The Pratyantardasha, the sub-period that he is running, is that of Mars. Wonderful. However, the Sukshma Dasha, the very fine classification system that allows us to see the planet in control of a chart on a specific day for Virat from July 10th, 2019 till July 19th, 2019 is Venus. The first semi-finals of this World Cup are scheduled to be held on the 9th of July, and the second semi-finals will be held on 11th of July. As long as Venus is in control of the horoscope, Virat, and by extension India, cannot expect any great results. If India play the semi-finals on the 9th of July, they will make it to the finals. If they play the second semi-finals on the 11th of July, after the start of the Venus Sukshma Dasha of Virat, then they will not even make it to the finals. And even if they do make it to the finals, which is scheduled for the 14th of July, based on the horoscope of Virat Kohli, it seems unlikely that we will win the World Cup this time. I want to mention that I have arrived upon this conclusion based on Virat Kohli's horoscope alone. I repeat, I do not have the data of the captains of the other teams to make a complete comparison with. I truly hope I am wrong, and that somehow India manages to win this World Cup. I think this would be the first time in my life I would be happy about a prediction going wrong. But based on what I have seen of Virat Kohli's horoscope, I feel he will do well in the tournament, but India will not have the firepower to win this most coveted trophy this time around.